Valkyrie Profile, one of the most iconic and unique JRPG franchises in RPG history. It's one of my personal favorites, and I'm pretty sure it's a personal favorite to a lot of gamers out there who are wondering what the hell happened to it. Such a great, fantastic and popular franchise with so very few games just vanished. What the hell happened to it? So today we're going to find out what happened to it. In my opinion, of course, because unfortunately this franchise is very open to speculation. So I have all the Valkyrie Profile games here. Only 3. Wait, there's 4? Valkyria Chronicles? What the hell are you doing here? To understand what the hell happened to Valkyrie Profile, we must understand Tri-Ace first, its development company. Most people know them for developing the Star Ocean series since 1996. Yoshiharu Gotanda is the man behind the wheel, being the president of Tri-Ace. The company's main designer was Masaki Norimoto. Now these two guys, along with Joe Asanuma, used to work for a company called Telenet Japan that used to develop games, including some RPGs for the Sega Genesis. Now Telenet had a division called Wolf Team, the people behind the Tales of series, now owned by Namco. So, the 3 aces, including Yoshiharu, hence the name Tri-Ace, worked on Wolf Team to create Tales of Phantasia, later leaving Namco to create their own company, making then the first Star Ocean for the Super Famicom, with very similar gameplay mechanics. Valkyrie Profile was released in 1999 in Japan and 2000 in North America, published by Enix, a few years before their fusion with Squaresoft. This game, however, was not released in Europe. It was a commercial success, and it was so very well received by both players and critics that it created a solid fan base, becoming a cult-following classic described by many as one of the best JRPGs of all time. With its platforming elements and its turn-based battles in 2D, Valkyrie Profile is nowadays highly regarded by many gamers. On a side note, a physical copy of this game goes nowadays for $200. Wow! And yet on another side note, one of the designers of this game was also Yoshinori Yamagishi, who had also worked on the Star Ocean games. Landon Valkyrie became so popular that she was a secret character in another game developed by Tri-Ace called Radiata Stories, an action RPG that was released in 2005. Lizard Ballet, another character from Valkyrie Profile, was a special boss in there too. So in 2006, Tri-Ace decided to port the game to the PSP, with Europe and Australia finally meeting it for the first time. It was also a commercial success, so the same year, Tri-Ace released a second Valkyrie Profile game called Silmeria for the PlayStation 2, now published by Square Enix. And here is where the problems began. I love this game with all my soul, and it's my favorite RPG for the PS2, but I have to admit that some things were now very different from the first game. For starters, the lead designer was now some dude called Takayuki Suguro, who later worked in some other Tri-Ace games. And the battle system was now in 3D environments where you could walk or dash towards your enemies, returning then to 2D when it came to attacking. Now the game's difficulty was brutal. Grinding needed to be done quite often in order to surpass certain bosses in the game, and it now had a very strange interface. But the tip of the iceberg was not all that. Nope. What pissed off a lot of fans, regardless of the game being also a commercial success back then, was the story. Lenneth was not the protagonist anymore. Instead, the game focused on Alicia, hosting the spirit of Lenneth's younger sister, Silmeria. At first, nobody knew if the games were connected or not, so the story was a huge mess of changes and plot twists, which I love by the way, but a lot of people did not love that at all, and Tri-Ace knew of this. Nevertheless, the game was successful and it left fans wondering if a third game will be about the elder sister called Christ, who had been an antagonist in the other two games. This idea became later a desire, turning then into an obsession. But alas, this never happened. Tri-Ace, instead of developing a new main game in the series, decided to switch to Nintendo and release a spin-off in 2008 called Covenant of the Plume for the Nintendo DS. Fans were crushed. This game was awesome, yes, but this was not what they were expecting. This was not what we wanted. But nobody lost hope. After all, it was just a spin-off. Release for the Sony's competition. Yeah. Well, the game was now a tactical RPG, brutally hard, harder than Silmeria in my opinion, but with an excellent story and cast of characters that were even praised by critics. The plot twist here? Landon Valkyrie was the main antagonist. So, was this game connected to the others? Or was it a side story coincidentally with the main character from the first Valkyrie profile now being an antagonist? No one knew for certain. The game itself was not as successful as its predecessors, and it remained as great, but a really challenging RPG to most people. We were still expecting a third main game from the franchise. Today, it's August 2018 and we still don't have one. All we know is that 2 years ago a mobile phone game called Valkyrie Anatomia, The Origin, came out. And guess where this was released? The game plays very much like the original Valkyrie profile, and it looks really good by the way, but people have already begun saying it's very generic, regardless of the fact that it's supposed to be a prequel. And even though some of the company's people worked on it, like Yamagishi for example, this game was developed by Square Enix itself and not by Tri-Ace. But oh well, it seems that a lot of dead JRPG franchises in Japan have been attempting their luck on phones, while the rest of the world gets nothing! It's been 2 years and this game with over 1 million downloads has not been released outside Japan! Where is the third main game, Tri-Ace? Where? We know you've been busy with franchises like Star Ocean, or I don't know, games like Exist Archive, which is supposed to be a spiritual successor to the Valkyrie series, even though I get the feeling that they never said that and this is just a theory by fans. If you are aware of its extremely strong fanbase and the possibility of making a lot of cash with it, why haven't you released anything for consoles? Oh, I see why. Yep, the millennial and money-loving rat hole that Square Enix has become. That pretty much explains everything. Or not? Tri-Ace, since 2016, now belongs to Nepro Japan, a company known for creating games for mobile phones. What a tragedy. So that's it, my dear subscribers. What happened to this excellent beloved franchise is only open to speculations. A lot of things must be involved, like other games getting in the way, Square shit decisions, drastic changes within each entry they released, especially story-wise, and innovation attempts that went not wrong but weird. This is just my opinion, remember that, but if we add all these things up, then maybe we get a solid theory as to why. Will it properly return one day? Will Anatomia ever be released outside Japan? We can only speculate, but at least today we have an idea as to what the hell happened to Valkyrie profile. So that's it, guys. That's the depressing story of Valkyrie profile. You know, when I made the previous What the Hell Happened videos with other franchises, I was looking forward to making them, but with Valkyrie profile, I wasn't. I mean, I wanted to make this video, I wanted to show it to you and to share it with you, but I knew beforehand, since many years ago, what had happened to it. So, it's very sad. It's just sad, right? I mean, Tri-Ace owned by Nepro Japan? What the hell, man? That's bullshit, man. Fuck Tri-Ace, seriously. But anyways, they left us with 3 very iconic games, beloved games, cult classics, and excellent stories. That's something. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and share this video with your friends. See you next time.